Welcome to Trading Lounge and the US indices. We'll be looking at the S&P and the NASDAQ. The S&P here, we still are climbing higher and picking it up from wave 3 here. We have an A wave and a B wave and a C wave. And then we're looking at wave 1 and 2 here and wave 3 here. And we're looking for wave 4 last time we spoke on the 2650 here, a really important level. As I've mentioned on the arrival coming up here, how this would play out not only here, but it will also play out further once we get a top in here and play out this side here as well. It'll be a defining factor in confirming the bear market to the downside as well as a retested resistance on this point. At the moment here, we're looking, as I mentioned, from wave 4 to wave 5 here, and we're looking for 5 waves in that structure as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and moving up to the 2700 here as a bit of a finishing line. The other line that I like in here too as a level is this number here, the 2720 area here, which is also part of group 1. So with group 1 here, we would have 2710, 2720 and 2730 here. Now so normally we expect a top within group 1 here. If we were wrong, then we would be wrong if the 2730 became a tested support here, because when we're talking about a large number here like 2700 here, then the sub-levels above it, 1, 2 and 3, and the sub-levels below the 80, 72 and 65 here, that's the range in which the correction or the market can vibrate within in this space here. But if we find that that the market vibrates outside of this space and finds support on the 2720, then we need to look to the upside from that point, and from the downside we'd also look to the downside. But there are important numbers here. The 2650 in this particular case here just plays a really strong part, and also the 2720 here will play a really strong part here as well. So anywhere we see a 72, and that can come in as 72 here as 272 or 772, those sorts of numbers. They just play a strong role here, but our focus is really on this at the moment. So we've got the midpoint here, 2650, and then we've got group 2 here, which is 6572 and the 80, and it doesn't look like much there when you look at it like this, but as you drill in, we get to see those numbers really come alive. So on the 100 ticks here, I was counting this here as a little 5-wave structure up here for wave 1 here. Get that in place a little bit better, and then looking at wave 3 here. So I'm thinking wave 3 hasn't come into play yet, and then we'll see wave 4 and then wave 5 moving higher through here. It's quite possible that we could put wave 3 here and wave 4 here and have wave 5 just coming up into here with this here and so on here, but I don't think that's the case. I think we've got wave 3 to play out here and wave 4 to play out here, and the reason for that, if I go into the 20 ticks, which is 5 times in the zoom here, then I've labeled it like this here. So from wave 4 here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1 and 2 here, then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 for 1 and back for 2, up for 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 here for this third wave here. I've got this counted, well, the trouble with this one, I've got this one counted slightly different here, 1 degree higher, but we're still going up here. So looking for wave 3 here, wave 4 here, and wave 5. In the other one that I've just showed you, we've got wave 4 sitting here. I just needed to use these numbers as tools. Yeah, in the previous, on the 100 ticks, we got this wave 4 here, but and that would be correct as well, but I just needed to use these numbers. So I can't draw on this side here, but we can expect the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, an A, and a B, and a C here. This wave 4 can pull back to this wave 4 here, 2 of 1 lesser degree here, before moving to the upside. But I don't see this as finished, and I also see the banks in the same vein as well. So I think we've been looking at I think Cities and Goldman Sachs as well. So let me just see if I can find. Well, this is Goldman's here. A little bit of a messy count. It's a 4-hour chart here as well. So it's a bit messy, but since we've been speaking, we're looking at this as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here, then 1 and 2 and 3. And last time we spoke, we were looking for wave 4 to play out. So we still need wave 5 to the upside to play out in this space here. So that needs to play. So most of the banks are like this as well. So Morgan's are the same as well. So I can see that we're still in this wave 4 here. Some of them are slightly different and so on, but I can just see the structure, the whole structure from here to here is not finished, and this is where we are here. Now the NASDAQ's a little bit sort of interesting, and not that it has to be tit for tat with the S&P 500 as well. I've just sort of been going over this a little bit, and you know, our target was the 26, the 65 number here, which is a medium level. It's halfway between 5,000 and 8,000. It's an extremely important number, and we're going to see it play out here. As normal, we'd normally see the arrival, the reaction, and then the first high above the level, and then the corrective wave here. That's the normal process. So I've gone back over on the tick chart. I can show you that, but we had wave 4, if I copy that and sitting it there where that wave 2 is here, and then I started the count from here. But I do think that, you know, I can see that this is ended down here in 5 waves, so I'm really thinking that this is wave 1 here and wave 2 here, which is going to give us the extra wave over here. I'm not totally sure on this, but the good news about this really is that we had this as a target. We've always had this as a target from this point here, the 65, and we'll keep that, and that's fine, okay, and we'll exit there. But then we'll just carefully, this, you know, if we see this as a corrective move here, then we know that we'll have one more wave to the upside at that point. The S&P doesn't have this particular count, but it's always good to have something different to, you know, to keep us awake as such. So let's just see if we get an A and a B and a C wave down to here, and then up to this point. So also what it means as well is that at the 60, because this is the wave 4 of 1 less degree here, and it will be roughly the 38.2% retracement level once we got this high, and I'll check that. So if the 64 becomes a retested resistance, then we know that we're in a bearish market from that point. Okay, so that will be something that we can you know, work with, but it will just bring our attention closely that this could, we don't want to be suckered in here, and yeah. So anyway, that's sort of that, and yeah, let's just see how that goes at that particular point. All right, I'll leave it at that. Alrighty, cheers.